Revelation 1875. From the 4th of April 1941. Rebirth of the Spirit. From the hour of spiritual rebirth onwards, the human being is in constant care of the beings on the other side who, serving God the Lord, take care of him. If the human being has consciously taken up contact with the spiritual world, and if his striving is now directed towards leading a way of life pleasing to God, he will, so to speak, conclude his earthly life, because he strives more for the progress of the soul than for worldly success. Thus he has become a new person, he has new goals in mind, a change has taken place in his whole life. He pays more attention to his soul life, he seeks to shape himself according to divine will. And thus this is the spiritual rebirth, where the spirit awakens in the human being, where he can develop freely in order to enter into contact with the spiritual beyond himself. Now it is an ease for the beings in the beyond to influence the human being to do what is good, that is just before God. But he must not openly resist those forces which are favorable to him. If he is urged to do a good deed, he must not, out of petty earthly concerns, oppose this urge with his will and do, think or speak something else against his inner conviction. Once he has submitted himself to the divine will, he must now also faithfully entrust himself to the eternal deity. Then he is also relieved of all responsibility for his earthly life. For all spiritual beings who want to serve God now determine the human being's way of life. The human being will certainly still have to struggle to increase his state of maturity, but he need never fear that his spirit could fall back into darkness and push the human being back to a level he has long since overcome. This is prevented by the beings of light in the beyond, provided the human being prays for strength and power of faith. For this prayer time and again manifests the will directed towards God, and the human being cannot do wrong as long as he turns towards God himself. The human being is not perfect, and therefore he will still be accused of many weaknesses before the world, that is before worldly people, and he himself will also often not be satisfied with himself. But he can never fall into the abyss, thus the rebirth of the spirit remains, despite external defects and faults. Only prayer has to be used more intimately and more often so that the strength for good will increase, and this strength can be sent to people through effective beings of light which take care of people and help them if they are in distress of soul. Amen.